Hello everyone, I am Saitech and welcome back to my channel Saitech. In today's video, I'd like to compare the Poco F3 GT versus iQOO 7 device, which is the best phone to buy right now. So in this entire video, I'll try to talk about multiple things about the performance, display, camera, battery charging, connectivity, software updates, and build quality, and all the A to Z topics I'll try to cover, friends, in this one video. So make sure to watch till end of the video. Please don't try to skip any part. And in case if you want further clarification on whatever explanation I did give in this video, make sure to check the playlist. I did create a playlist for each and every smartphone, so just for the information only I'm trying to show you the playlist. So try to check the playlist and all your doubts will be completely clarified. So first thing is that let's start with the price. So right now the Poco F3 GT, the price of this phone in the Flipkart is about 25,999 for this 6GB RAM variant, and iQOO 7 it starts from about 31,990 rupees, so which is about 8GB RAM variant. So 8GB RAM variant in this phone it costs about close to 27,999 for the 8GB. So 6GB, 8GB and 8GB plus 256GB as well. As you can see the price range, how it is between the price. So in terms of the price, the Poco F3 GT has got slightly advantage. So that's what I'm going to start with the first thing about the price range. So next, let's move to the first topic, which is performance wise. So in terms of the performance wise, Snapdragon 870 on iQOO 7 device and Dimensity 1200 chipset on this Poco F3 GT device. So in terms of the day-to-day task, you won't feel any kind of difference between both phones. But for the gaming, which phone is the best phone for the performance wise? I'll definitely choose the Snapdragon 870 chipset for the gaming purpose. Yes friends, for the gaming, trust me, it's kind of ultimate processor, which is Snapdragon 870. So all the games are really optimized apart from this Battlegrounds Mobile, so which will be very soon, maybe it will definitely get optimized. Even in this phone, Battlegrounds Mobile also not optimized properly, that's another thing, but the rest of the games are completely optimized in this iQOO 7 device, and you can actually play without much lag or delay in terms of the gameplay. That's what I did experience in this kind of iQOO 7 device from the starting to till now. 70 days I did use the iQOO 7 device, and in the gaming I never got any kind of issues in the iQOO 7 phone. Absolutely, yes friends, not only me, even I did not get so many complaints or so many issues regarding the performance in this iQOO 7 device in terms of the performance wise. So when it comes to the Poco F3 GT, this is my just day 4 of using this device, which is a Poco F3 GT. So this is very too early to say about this gaming performance in this phone, but one thing is that quick thing, the games are not that optimized maybe, but still you will feel this kind of a little bit kind of lag while playing the games, just a little bit. I did do the couple of Battlegrounds Mobile testing in my studio, but still I will try to do the in-depth gaming comparison. So make sure to stay tuned for the in-depth gaming comparison between these two phones. If you're buying the phone Poco F3 GT, if you're buying this phone, maybe if you want the gaming triggers, then definitely you can buy. If you don't want the triggers, then you can try to choose the Snapdragon 870 chipset only. Otherwise, if you don't have that much of amount of budget to buy the iQOO 7 device, then definitely you can buy the Poco F3 GT. In that case, no problem. But the RAM management is really good in this phone. It's not like the other Dimensity processors, Realme X1 Max or OnePlus Nord 2 device. It's nothing like that. It's completely different. This phone has got really good high RAM management when compared with those phones. This phone came actually close to this kind of RAM management in this iQOO 7 area, friends. Seriously, I did like this kind of performance in this Poco F3 GT device. But while gaming, slightly here and there, you will definitely feel a little bit kind of lag a little bit while playing Genshin Impact or while playing Battlegrounds Mobile. Just a couple of frame drops will be happening in this phone, but I'll try to do a separate in-depth video on that particular topic. And final message for the gamers: if you don't have the budget, if you want the gaming triggers, only then you can buy the Poco F3 GT. And if you are having the sufficient amount of budget, then better go for the iQOO 7 device. That is what the final conclusion I can give for the gamers most of the time. Yes. So next thing is about the display. In terms of the display, which display is really good? I did like the Poco F3 GT display, friends. It's really amazing in this phone to watch the viewing content. It's very good, damn good. I'll try to do the separate comparison between both phones in terms of the display quality, but overall I did like the more saturated colors on this phone. It's very amazing to watch in this Poco F3 GT. So it's not only that, even there is a touch sampling rate of 480 Hz touch sampling rate, by which you will definitely feel a lot of smooth when using the device. Yes, I can definitely say that. Not much difference, but I did feel this kind of smoothness when I'm trying to scroll around and everything. It's kind of really good in this using the 480 Hz touch sampling rate. That's very good, damn good in this phone. And apart from that, there are plenty of customization which you can actually use in the display. If you try to go to the color mode, here you do have so many options: vivid, saturated, standard, advanced settings. You can play around with the settings, as you can see. Let me just show you. There's so much of enhancement colors you can actually do in this Poco F3 GT to enhance the little bit kind of more colors. But whereas in the iQOO 7 device, you don't get that much of customization in terms of colors, just only basic colors. And the green tint issue is happening in the iQOO 7 device. There is no green tint issue in this phone, in my unit. I'm trying to say, in my unit, till now I did not see any kind of green tint issue. And screen flickering issue, both phones are facing the screen flickering. That's the one thing. And regarding the brightness wise, also the iQOO 7 feels a little bit kind of more, but I'll try to do the side-by-side comparison just to compare which phone has got what type of brightness level, just to check. I'll try to do that comparison, friends, maybe tomorrow. But overall, the display I did like in the Poco F3 GT, and the bezels are really slim on the bottom, as you can see, when compared with this one iQOO 7 device. So it's very good to watch. I did like this Poco F3 GT's display most of the time, and definitely I'll try to do the in-depth comparison, friends. You will understand why I'm saying this kind of things about the Poco F3 GT. Even the iQOO 7 is really good, but when compared with this phone, I'll prefer this Poco F3 GT to watch the viewing content. That is what my final decision. So next is about the camera. So in terms of the camera, the Poco F3 GT has got the 64 megapixel lens and the iQOO 7 has got the 48 megapixel lens. So in terms of the camera, which phone is the best? Both phones, I'll try to explain, I'll try to divide into the, I think, different categories. So in terms of the front cam clarity, which phone is the best? Let me just show you a couple of shots which are taken in both phones. Today, I'll try to show you, friends, maybe I'll try to, yes, exhaust shot. Yeah. This shot I've taken in both phones, and the wide angle is slightly good on the Poco F3 GT. You can see more area is covering in this phone. Whereas the iQOO 7 device, it's not that wide in terms of the, as you can see, angle, how it is. And you can see the clarity in both phones, how they are in terms of the face clarity and everything, and the background. You can see slightly got blurred, but still you can see the background as well clearly in the Poco F3 GT little bit. And even my wall as well, as you can see the wall and background, everything slightly better on the Poco F3 GT little bit. That is what I did like little bit, but not much. But I'll try to do in-depth comparison side by side. So stay tuned for those videos, friends. I'll try to show this kind of all the images in that kind of video only. So in terms of the front cam, I did like this Poco F3 GT. Next, in terms of the back camera, absolutely iQOO 7. iQOO 7 is the ultimate in terms of the night camera. Sorry, night mode shots. It's really very good. It's like, I think 50% better than this phone, I would say. Definitely. It's really good in terms of the night mode. I'll try to do separate video, friends. Stay tuned for that video. And just giving you the heads up within both phones in terms of the clarity. Night mode shots are really amazing in this iQOO 7 device. That's fantastic. I did see that, as you can see. That's very good. So that's we finished the selfie front cam, and we finished the night mode. And then regarding the main camera, so in terms of the main camera, I did not find much difference in terms of the colors and saturation levels. Nothing much difference, I would say. Overall, in terms of the brightness, not much difference I can actually see between both phones in terms of the colors and everything. As you can see, friends, not much difference I can see at this moment. I'll try to do in-depth comparison as well between both phones, but stabilization is not bad in the Poco F3 GT. Yes, the stabilization is not at all bad, I would say. I did do a couple of shots using this Poco F3 GT in the outdoor testing as well. I'll try to upload all the shots in the YouTube, so you'll be able to watch those clear stabilization, how is the clarity. So not bad at all. But iQOO 7 has got slightly stabilization, a little bit kind of better. That is what I did feel, little bit, just a little bit, but not much. There's a front camera. You do have the front cam bokeh mode in this Poco F3 GT, where you can blur everything in the background. That is what I did record the video of blurring the background, as you can see. The background got completely got blurred at this location. That's the one mode you can actually have in this Poco F3 GT device. That's the one thing which I was just mentioning. And which is also working really great. I did upload a video on this sample as well. You can check, take a look at the sample by watching the playlist. You will get a clear idea. So in terms of the camera, the night mode shots are strongest point for the iQOO 7 device, and front camera and little bit kind of video bokeh mode. That's the one advantage. And 4K 60 FPS you can record in this phone, and slow motion 960 you can record in this phone. There are a couple of advantages and disadvantages, but I'll try to cover in another video in depth. So in terms of the camera, I would say kind of equal points, little bit. Both are having advantage and disadvantage. That is the reason, equal points. So next, regarding the battery and the charging. Charging is ultimate, the iQOO 7. 30 minutes, perfect. For some users, it is taking a little bit kind of more time, 35 minutes and 40 minutes and 45 minutes. But I'll try to share you one thing about the iQOO 7 device is that try to maintain the low temperatures. So always the phone will charge faster only in the low temperatures in the iQOO 7 device. Try to maintain. Then the phone will charge really fast. That's one thing. And in the battery backup, the Poco F3 GT can have slightly advantage over the iQOO 7 device. Let's say a little bit. Maybe I think 40 minutes of gameplay that can be advantage in this phone. But I'll try to do the separate comparison as well. Both phones comparing which phone comes how many hours of battery draining. I'll try to do maybe tomorrow. So stay tuned for those videos, friends. In case if you're interested to know which phone has what kind of battery capacity, battery capacity as well. That is what I'm going to exactly talk about tomorrow. So stay tuned for those videos. That will be really interesting to see which phone will be the winner. So next, regarding the connectivity wise, I would say both are kind of same. Yes, both are kind of same, friends. No problem, nothing at all, apart from one thing, which the Poco F3 GT cannot get the 4G aggregation if you're trying to use the Geo SIM with band 3 and 1800 frequency. With that, you cannot get the 4G plus aggregation in this Poco F3 GT. If you cannot understand what I did say, so don't worry, there's a video which I uploaded separately. Try to check this video. Just for the information only I'm trying to show, not for the views. Please try to understand me. Try to check this video. In this video, I did clearly explain in what situation you cannot get the 4G plus aggregation. But overall, the network was really good in this phone. So there's no issues in terms of the connectivity. So both are having the same kind of problem, which is a 2.4 gigahertz, which is transmit link speed is only one. That's the one thing which I'm just mentioning right now. So in the connectivity wise, both should be kind of same, and even the 5G bands, 1 5G and 2 5G. So maybe slight advantage for the Poco F3 GT device in terms of the connectivity. So next, the software updates. Which phone is best in the software updates? I would say maybe Poco F3 GT, because right now I'm using the iQOO 7 device. It's my 70 days of usage, friends, and the iQOO 7 phone did receive the software update, which is a July security patch. I think exactly 7 days back, 7 to 8 days back, all the users are able to get this kind of update, which is a 1.72.9. But latest update was 1.72.11. That is the latest update which all the users did receive, but still now few of the users, they did not even get the update in the iQOO 7 device. That is a July security patch, and right now I'm running the June security patch, and today's date is about 30 July. I'm not sure when I'll be getting this July security patch, maybe in the August or August ending, but still it took 7 to 8 days till I did not get any kind of software updates. So meanwhile, in the Poco F3 GT, maybe I still have a little bit of experience using the MI phones. That is the reason, maybe if you're planning to buy for the next maybe few years, and if you're worried about software updates which phone can get, maybe you can trust, I'm not saying trust, maybe you can choose the Poco F3 GT, because in my experience I did use 3 to 4 years of MI phone, so I did not have any problem. But even if the MI doesn't give the updates, you can I did do the bootloader, and I did install a couple of custom ROMs, so in that way you'll be able to survive with the latest software updates in this Poco F3 GT. That's the one good advantage with the MI phones. You can do the bootloader unlocking and everything in this Poco F3 GT. So that's what a lot of users, that is the reason they prefer the MI phones, basically because to enjoy this kind of freedom, root and install all this kind of custom ROMs and try different ROM versions. And next is a build quality, which is the best. Build quality, obviously the straight winner is a Poco F3 GT, no doubt at all. So even with this size of battery capacity of 5065 mAh of battery capacity, still the phone weight is not that heavy, friends. It's kind of close to 208 grams, and this iQOO 7 is of close to 200 grams, 200 and 205, 203 grams, I think. So close to that kind of grams between both phones. Not bad at all for this kind of battery capacity, 4400. But still, the aluminum body is really good in this phone, in the iQOO 7 device. And you're getting the Gorilla Glass protection front and back as well, as you can see. That's one thing that's a very good advantage. And pop-up triggers, that's another at most important, friends. This is a really good thing which I started to use this kind of pop-up triggers from the time of unboxing this phone to till now. I did enjoy using this kind of triggers. One thing is that this button feels slightly loose in my device. I'm not sure it's in my phone or maybe in couple of other users also, they did mention same thing. This button is kind of really loose little bit. You can actually move it little bit. Yes, it's loose. Not the bottom one, only the top one. But overall the build quality is really good. Both phones don't have the 3.5mm jack. That's very good. Both are same. And on the top we do have the IR blaster. That's also another advantage with the MI phones. We are getting still IR blasters in the phones as well. That's pretty advantage. And side mounted fingerprint scanner, and I need to do the side by side comparison. So maybe today or tomorrow I'll try to do the side mounted fingerprint scanner versus the in-display fingerprint scanner. So you'll be able to feel the difference, how fast and accurate it is. But overall, my points ultimate goes to this Poco F3 GT in terms of the build quality. So now let's round up, friends. Which phone has got what type of advantage in what area? So in terms of the performance, quick, iQOO 7 device. In terms of the display, Poco F3 GT. In terms of the camera, same, Battery capacity, POCO F3 GT. Charging speed, iQOO 7 device. Connectivity, same. Software updates, POCO F3 GT, little bit. But even the iQOO 7 also guaranteed 2 years of two Android upgrades and 3 years of Android security updates in this iQOO 7 device. That's the one thing. But right now I'm experiencing slowly. I'm not receiving that faster in terms of software updates in this phone. For example, let's take the Realme. So the moment I did see the comments, the Realme X1 Max is receiving the updates. Even my phone got the Realme X updates, I think within 3 days of time, 3 to 4 days of time, not too long. It did not take much time in the Realme X1 Max to receive the updates. Even in the MI phones or POCO F3 GT or any other phone, whenever I see the comments that, hi bro, I did receive the update, did you receive or not? As soon as I read the comments, maybe within 1 or 2 days I used to get the updates. But right now in the iQOO 7 device, I'm not sure why. Not only me, there are so many users that did not receive the updates. That is the reason I'm giving the points to the POCO F3 GT for this time, because I did not expect this thing. So this just for only 3 months of usage, friends. 3 months. I'm not sure after 2 years or 1 year what will happen, but I need to address this thing to all of you. That is the reason I'm trying to mention even this thing as well. Build quality, POCO F3 GT. So this is the final conclusion, friends, of me testing these both phones and in-depth testing, intense kind of testing the POCO F3 GT after using kind of 72 hours non-stop with this phone. It's really good to use, and these are my complete impressions about this device. So thank you for watching this video, friends, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay tuned for more updates. And final words for the gaming. So gaming users, if you want the consistent performance, if you want without any kind of FPS drops, if you want stable performance levels as a future proof, if you want all the games optimized Snapdragon 870, if you don't have the budget and if you want the gaming triggers and if you're okay with the Dimensity process, then definitely you can choose the POCO F3 GT. Otherwise, Snapdragon processor 870, which is iQOO 7 device. That's the one thing which I was just mentioning. Even this phone is really good. So don't get me wrong, even this phone is good. But if you want a little bit kind of more stability, then you can choose the Snapdragon 870 chipset. So thank you for watching this video, friends, and hopefully this video might be clearing all the doubts for the users. So don't forget to check the playlist and all the doubts will be cleared after watching the playlist. So see you in the next video, friends. Until then, stay tuned for more updates. Meanwhile, signing off. Bye.